Good morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It's Diane Covington. Today it's going to be gorgeous in California. It's supposed to be the high of 77 degrees today, which is a little warmer than normal. So this is the reason I live in California with all the crazy prices. Anyway, the reason I wanted to leave you this very special message today is because I keep hearing, and I just want you to hear my heart, but I keep hearing consultants and directors say, like, well, I don't know, I'm frustrated, or I don't know what I'm doing, or I don't know if I should lower my goal. They just seem like there's not a lot of, what's the word I want to use? There's not a lot of determination and grit in what I'm hearing people say. It's like, oh, well, yeah, I tried that event and that didn't work for me. Or, oh, I tried, putting out 3 facial boxes, that didn't work for me. Or they're trying different things. And what I'm going to tell you guys is this business, and I know some of you are going to probably want to just hang up as soon as you hear me say this, but I'm really transparent. This business is whatever you want it to be. If you want to make money, you can make money. If you want this for friendships and personal growth, it can be that. It can be whatever you want. Is it easy? No, but it's simple. If it was easy, everybody would be successful at this, and you wouldn't have nearly as much respect for the people who have overcome obstacles. If just like literally you open your door in the morning, there were people lined up outside your house saying, you sell Mary Kay, right? Okay, I need to buy some. Like, that doesn't happen. Well, at least it's never happened to me. So what I want you guys to do is pick a goal. So I'm going to do a little exercise with you, and I hope you just hear my heart, and I hope you will just do this little exercise with me. Go grab a piece of paper, put this on pause, run and go get a blank 8.5 by 11 white piece of paper. It doesn't matter if there's lines on it or not. Just grab a piece of paper. You're going to draw an X from the upper left corner to the bottom right, and then from the upper right to the bottom left. So you're just going to make a big cross, not a cross, but a big X, okay? So now I want you to turn your paper, probably, portraits up and down, so landscapes left to right. So landscape size, okay? So in the first triangle at the top of the paper, it doesn't really matter which way you turn the paper, but in the very top triangle, I want you to write down 2 things. A non-negotiable goal by June 30th. One that you are emotionally and mentally and financially, everything you are 100% committed to doing. Could be, I'm determined to get into red. Like, I'm so tired of talking about my red jacket. It's just going to happen. Or I really want to be in DIQ. Or I want to debut on stage. Or I'm going to finish the Princess Court, 20,000. Or I'm going to do the Court of Sales, 40,000. Or maybe it's, I really want to pay off the furniture that we just bought that's on a 18-month installment plan, or whatever it is. But it has to have, so just right on the top there, a goal by the end of June, as well as a goal by the end of December 31st. Okay, so I need you guys to write that down in that top quadrant. The top is the top little triangle is a goal, non-negotiable by June 30th, and the other one is one that by December 31st you want to make happen. Okay. Now, in the left triangle, you're going to write down all your assets. Now, for some women, this is hard, but let me give you some ideas. Assets are everything you have going for you that could make that come true. So I'm going to throw out a whole bunch, and some of these might apply to you. You might have a really big family support. Your family might be super supportive of your business. You might be super involved in church. You know a lot of people. You might be strong in your faith. Let's talk about personal traits. You might have a determined personality. You might be competitive in your personality, which is a trait. You might, you might be bilingual. You might be involved in chamber activities. You might have a good sense of humor. You might have a good sense of humor. You might have bounce back ability. There's all kinds of things that are assets, okay? And you will continue. I want you to make that quadrant so full. I apologize, I got calls coming in, so I hope that's not affecting my recording. But I want that quadrant to be so full of words and adjectives that describe you that it makes you just really appreciate you. Okay, so those are all your assets. And it could be, I'm bilingual, I'm super determined, I'm competitive, I have resilience, I have grit. Like, whatever it is that makes you unique that you could use as an asset. Okay? Now, in the bottom triangle, those are the ruts. Now, ruts are anything that could keep you from reaching your goal. Now, I want you to realize that ruts may not even be real, but if it's real in your head, like you might say, well, I'm not pretty enough. Like I literally did this with one of my consultants not too long ago. She goes, well, I'm just not the beauty consultant type. I said, tell me what that is. She goes, well, I'm just not a glamorous person. She has convinced herself or told herself that because she's not a makeup girl and she doesn't do all the Instagram and all the quick tutorials on how to do makeup, she can't succeed in this. Now, whether that's real or not, she thinks that. So I want you to write down anything on the bottom triangle that is a rut, anything that could hold you back. Maybe you just moved and you don't know anyone in your town and you've told yourself that that's a rut. That could actually be an asset, but however you want to spin that, right? Then I want you to think of what else do you have that could possibly hold you back. Let's say you've got an unsupportive family. Okay, been there, done that. Let's say you're saying one of your ruts. So I'll tell you, because I'm not going to tell you her name, but some other ruts that this consultant put down is after her third baby, she put on weight, and she hasn't taken it off. The baby's now 2 or 2.5. So she's about 50 pounds overweight. So she feels, these are her words, fat and frumpy. Those were her words. She said, I don't feel comfortable approaching a sharp woman when I feel fat and frumpy. I said, okay, so she wrote that down as something that could keep her from getting to her goal. And then she said, I don't know a lot of people in town. So that was another thing because they're military and they moved recently. So what's down in that quadrant is anything that potentially could hold you back. Let's say you're not good with time management. Let's say you're not good with money management. Let's say you have a hard time staying focused on your goal. Now, what you will find interesting is that women are really good at coming up with everything that could hold them back, and we're not as good about coming up with our assets. So the triangle of everything that could hold me back is usually really full, and all the assets is not as full. So you should have 3 triangles that are full. The top one is a non-negotiable, like I'm 100% in, because Carol Anton, retired national, told me this once a long time ago, and I'm sure it's not her original, but if you're 99% in, you're 100% out. You're either in or you're not. You all know March 1st comes, Star Consultant deadline's March 15th. You've already decided I'm going to be a star or not. If you're in my unit, you say to me, well, Don, I'm going to give it a try. I already know you've made the decision. If you say to me, I'm going to finish star no matter what, like I'm going to stay on the phone, I'm going to facial people, I'm going to do whatever it takes to be a star, that's different. Then I'll try. Because Mary used to hate that word, I'll try. So picture this. Your paper has your June 30 goal, your December 31st goal. And these could be Mary Kay goals, but they could also be personal goals, or the money you make at Mary Kay could help pay for those goals. Let's say it's buy new furniture before Christmas, or take your family on a Christmas cruise, or whatever. Okay, so your assets are in the left thing. Those are everything you have going for you. Maybe you're resilient. Maybe you've got 3 girlfriends that those are your core supporters, whatever it is, okay? Your ruts are down below. Now, there's an empty triangle, and that is your action plans. See, the reason I wanted you to do this is because this is one of my favorite things to do as a coach is to help people put together their personal strategic plan. And what you will find is that typically we set a goal and then we jump into action like, okay, I want to make $3,000 in the next month, so I've got to do so many faces. And which is great. I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying if you just want to throw product on faces, but your brain is telling yourself, well, I feel fat and frumpy. Those were the words from my consultant. And I said, okay, so your director, whoever is your mentor, will help you figure out that final quadrant. And that final quadrant is your action plan. And what you do is you look at the ruts of the things that could possibly hold you back, and you address those. So I'm going to use my consultant's example just because I think it might help some of you. So the first thing on there is I feel fat and frumpy. So I said to her, and I'll just change her name to Jean. So I said to Jean, Jean, when was the last time you didn't feel fat and frumpy? When did you feel sexy, pretty, empowered, and all that? She goes, probably 2 years ago. And I said, okay. So when you close your eyes and you see that, what do you see? And she says, I just see a different version of me. So to make a long story short, her action plan, because I'm just going to cut to the chase, they don't have a lot of money. And so I said, well, when was the last time you got a compliment on your hair? And she says, oh, God, it's been years. And I said, how much does a haircut cost? She goes, well, that's funny you should say that because I just cut out a coupon for Great Clips to get an $8 haircut. And I said, okay, so $8 gets you a haircut. So now you got a sassy, fun haircut. Do you have a skirt that you can wear. She goes, I don't have any skirts anymore. I've put on too much weight. And the only big store near them, because they live in a rural area, is a Walmart. And I said, okay, does Walmart sell skirts? She goes, of course. And I said, okay, how much would a skirt cost? She goes, not a lot. I said, do you have a Goodwill or anything like that? And she goes, yeah, well, we have one, but it's not a very good store. I said, okay, so let's just say hypothetically you swing by the Goodwill or whatever the consignment or thrift store is, see if they have a black skirt. I said, a black skirt is like a staple in anybody's wardrobe, right? It'll make you feel empowered, blah, blah, blah. So her plan was and she was to report back to me in 48 hours. So I gave her 48 hours, and in that 48 hours, she went and got a sassy haircut and sent me a picture. Oh, my God, what a difference. Then she went to the thrift store, did not find a skirt, but went to Walmart and found a skirt. And I think the skirt was like $11. Bought an $11 skirt. She came home, put on a cute white blouse, slapped on some lipstick with her sassy hair, and took a selfie and sent it to me. And she said, I'm a new woman. Now, here's what's interesting. 48 hours before that, the conversation was, I feel fat and frumpy. I can't approach women. I don't know that I can do this. Blah, 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 blah. And all she did was take that rut of I feel fat and frumpy, change that around, which now I said, so now how confident are you with those two goals you set? She goes, well, I'm a lot more confident just by getting a skirt that fit her and a sassy new haircut. So then we looked at the other rut she had. The other one, she says, I feel isolated now that I've got 3 little kids. I don't see women very often. And I said, well, you're military, correct? She said, yes. I said, well, when's the next military wives event? She says, well, there's one actually next weekend or next whatever. And I said, okay, could you hand out a sample? Could you make a goodie bag? She goes, well, actually, yeah, it's a craft event for the kids, but the military moms are all invited. I said, great. So again, we put together this strategic plan so that the things that she did literally eliminated the things that she claimed were ruts. And I will tell you, 30 days later, this woman felt like she could conquer the world. Did anything really change? Did her financial situation change? Not really. Did anything change? Her mindset changed. Her expectation changed. So I really want you guys to take this to heart. Draw a line in the sand and just say to yourself, okay, it's Wednesday. It's April 9th. I'm done. I'm done complaining. I'm done pointing fingers at other people. It's my responsibility to build my business. I have complete control over making my family's financial situation different. I can do this. There's nothing standing in my way. Put that together and let your director, mentor, or coach help you figure out that final triangle and help you make a strategic plan, because I know you can. All right, you guys, thank you for listening. I appreciate each and every one of you, and have a blessed day.